Maximum Football released a video covering some topics about what to expect to be fixed as well what's to come in their next patch update for the game. These was the topics and questions that they covered in their video. Roster editing, will you be able to add and remove players in the future? Play action, RPOs, and screens, where does this team stand on these mechanics? Crossplay, what are the challenges and could it happen? Community sharing, what's the plan for custom teams and rosters? New playbooks and formations, could we see the pistol offense, 4-2-5 defense, and much more? Height adjustments, why isn't this a feature and will it change? Rage quit fixes, the temporary solution is in. What's next? Adjusting logos in the prototype from 2023 still in the works. And in-game economy and currency. What insights has the team gathered and what's changing? So one of the biggest questions in the community has been about roster editing. Specifically, will we be able to add or remove players in the future? They don't seem much interest about this, but if it's highly requested, then the developers will put it on their list for future work-ons. But before doing so, they want to handle the major priorities first. They're looking to ensure that things like motion capture animations and the scripting of player actions are working correctly. It's a complex process and it's going to take some time. I know it's frustrating, but it's important that they get it right. Next up, let's talk about play action, RPOs, and screenplays. The devs have confirmed that they are gradually adding these mechanics into the game over time. So if you are waiting for those option plays or screenplays to feel more authentic, don't worry, it's all part of the plan. The team is working hard to fine-tune the animations and gameplay scripting, which is why things are being rolled out slowly. Now the next thing is height adjustments. I know a lot of people want to customize player height in the game, but the reason this isn't a feature right now is due to how the animations are designed. The developers use motion capture and have specific animations sync between both players. Changing player height could result in some really weird animations, which is why it hasn't been implemented yet. There's a lot that goes into making sure that certain animations work properly before having a huge mess of issues. With that being said, let's take a look at these Madden clips. For example, when it comes to the height difference in script animations like you will see here in Madden 25, and which I also compare with Madden 25 is Madden 18 gameplay, that you will see how worse it has gotten over the years between the two, but both still has its issues and unrealistic moments. But 18 will show that it was done much more better than what we have currently with Madden 25. But the thing is that Maximum Football wants to avoid is this kind of issues between the possible height of the players that can possibly warp and have weird broken animations to match the default animation that was motion captured, as well like the option having the ball pitch animations correctly done that you will see in Madden 25 where it can just magically pop into anyone's hands accurately, as well with blocking mechanics for screen pulls, as well with defense reaction. Everything has an animation that has to have proper scripting to them to make it function correctly, which you guys are seeing all the issues with today's clips of Madden 25 and Madden 18. Maximum Football is taking little steps to assure quality over having broken issues as so. Another major topic is crossplay. The dev team has acknowledged the challenges in making crossplay a reality for Maximum Football, but they're actively looking into it. It's definitely something the community has been asking for, and while it's not a guarantee just yet, they're aware of the demand. When it comes to community sharing, especially regarding custom teams and logos, there's some good news. The team is working on making uploads more private, so players won't have to worry about their logos or customizations being available for anyone to grab. There's also a push for a better search system for finding logos. Imagine searching for example Alabama and instantly finding the Alabama logo uploaded by the community. Sounds pretty good, right? So this is something that the team is looking into to make sure that you're able to search for certain logos that's possibly uploaded by the community, as well, have certain uploads that people don't want, to be shared with other community members. Now, for those that don't know, the developing team crew is made up of 30 people or so. And to talk about, new playbooks and formations to come, they have two people that is currently working on the formations and plays, and they already have a lot of formations ready to go. but they're holding off on releasing them all at once. The reason for this is to make sure that the defensive reactions are working properly. There's been a lot of exploits and issues with how the AI reacts in certain situations, so they're testing each formation play carefully before releasing it to the public. Next is about rage quit fixes and matchmaking. In the future, they're planning to add further improvements so that if you're someone who quits or exploits the game, you will be matched with other players who do the same. This helps keeps things fair for those who play the game properly. For those who like to cheat the system by quitting out of games to hide a loss or boost their stats, the devs are also working on a stat system overhaul that hides your record if you're not playing fairly. It's all about creating a more legitimate and fair competitive environment. Finally, the in-game economy and currency. They got some insight into the game economy and currency. The team has been gathering feedback and data on how players are interacting with the economy, and they're identifying areas for improvement. They can expect some changes to the way currency works in the game, making it more balanced and rewarding for players. So for instance, like winning and losing, the amount of stuff that you end up earning and not earning, and all that good stuff when it comes to the in-game, point system. I really appreciate how the developers are taking a gradual approach to improving the game. They're focusing on getting the core mechanics like playbooks, animations to work properly first before diving into new features. This shows that they care about delivering a polished experience over time, which is what we need. As for the community sharing aspect, I think the private uploads and better search functions will make a big difference in improving how players interact with the game's customization features. Also, addressing issues like exploits and rage quitting will go a long way in making online play more enjoyable for everyone. Overall, the devs are listening to the community and working hard to make Maximum Football the best game it can be. While there's still a lot to fix, it's clear that they're on the right track, and I'm excited to see how the game evolves in the coming months. So, what do you think about everything from their update video that they recently released, their mailbag video that is? Are you excited about the updates coming to Maximum Football? Or is there something else you'd like to see fixed? Or you guys, continuing to play the game or just waiting for the next patch update and just see how the game continues to improve from there? Now, of course, the game has a very long way to go because they're pretty much building this game from the ground up, right? Especially transitioning from where it was at with Unity Engine, hopping over to the Unreal Engine, and just building it step by step by step. And doing it this way, it's expected that, it's going to be a long process and a journey to get this game where it's supposed to be at. But, after that 3 year hiatus or whatever the break is, when they, started developing this game, got a brand new crew, developing crew, expanded upon the devs. I mean, it's pretty crazy what they have done within that 3 years. And of course, getting it to where we're at now with the game might be disappointing to most, but you guys got to understand this is an indie dev, small team group developing this game. It's not no AAA big studio like EA or 2K developing the game, right? So you got to expect that the game is not going to be up to par in comparison to them. They still have a long way, and that's expected. As well, with how they go about making a profit to pay the developers and much more. I mean, the only way that they're able to profit is through the MPL, which is the online game mode, the Ultimate Team game mode, that is. And it's a free game overall. Of course, they made certain modes that you have to pay for. That's expected. That's the only way they're able to make profit. And the more support that they get, of course, they're going to put those funds back into the game to make sure that it continues to improve over time. Now, of course, with how they go about developing their game, they're showcasing the progress. They continue to update the community as well, work along with the community's feedback. When's the last time have you heard a game that does what Maximum Football is doing with their product and, having the community's help, feedback, and updating the community as well at the same time? I mean, there's no game that is doing what Maximum Football is doing right now. And how fast they have been able to deliver these updates. It's blowing my mind how actually fast they have been able to address and fix issues. Now, of course, With that being said, they also end up having brand new issues that happen after they fix, and that's expected when you have this way of developing the game. Now, for those that don't know, the game was tested as casual play. Of course, when it got out to the public to have their hands on experience, that's when a lot more issues occurred, especially from players that played online, because people would do everything in their power to glitch and export the game. But that's the best way for them to get more feedback on what they need to adjust, fix, and improve. So that's the expected way of how all games are. You have players that do these type of things, and that is the way for the developers to go about fixing their game. Because when these developers are making their game, they're not going to sit there and play it like abusively. They're not going to sit there where they're trying to do things to get an upper hand, or, you know, abuse stuff that helps them dominate against their opponent. They're just casually playing it as they, make it. As a casual person that's playing the game as it should be. Micah gives an example. He was saying that, somebody was just running goal line the entire drive, holding the ball and able to score the last minute or so, and that's how he wins the game. Like he says, as a crew, the developers, they don't sit there and run one play the entire drive and abuse it, right? They're just playing how the game should play, like as a casual football fan would. So you guys got to take all that into consideration, and that's why, the 3 years that they've been through with the prototype build of the game and got it up to the point where it's at right now. I mean, that's why they released it as an early access, because it's still an ongoing process, and they wanted the community's feedback and playthrough to actually give them more feedback on things that they probably haven't experienced through, playtesting it themselves. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, as well with these highlights in comparison to what Maximum Football wants to avoid that you guys saw from Madden 25 and Madden 18, and much more. Anyways, until next time, I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.